So we've talked a bunch about Ozempic on this channel. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but for completely different reasons than what we're going to discuss in this video. So I have been looking for a lot of FA content out there, and some of it's been so tiring. It's the same thing over and over again. And I just kind of want something different to talk about. I mean, there's only so many times you can watch somebody complain and cry on the internet, right? And yet, there is something else that has caught my attention. Yes, more crying and complaining on the internet, but about something that I am now complaining about. At first, I'm like, where are all these FA influencers going? I know Han Talks Body, she got like some Dove campaign thingy, or she's like now talking to people in person about body positivity versus having to make TikToks on it. Whatever, she's gone. Bye, Hannah. And there's also a lot of people in the FA community who are no longer alive. Yikes. But also, there is a third factor. There is a weight loss drug called Ozempic. And, of course, the other off-brands, where it's semaglutides, and they're using this as an appetite suppressant, losing weight. Some of them are doing it publicly after promoting body positivity and FA for a long time, and some of them are doing it very privately, just like, I don't know what happened, I just, like, lost weight naturally. But there are some people out there who are like, this is a problem. We are losing our community. They are pushing Ozempic on us, and they're even asking us to promote it. Yes, so I have this article here, and it's a Washington Post, and it's new marketing push by Ozempic and others sparks body positivity backlash. We're going to read through it together, kind of pick out some of the more interesting, spicy pieces, and kind of see what's going on. This is from February of this year. It's the Washington Post, whatever. And they also have a couple of videos that we're going to watch kind of like in response to this Ozempic thing happening. Because there are some issues with so many people using Ozempic for weight loss when it is a diabetes drug. There have been shortages, there have been other things, South Park did a whole thing on it. And yeah, so it's more than just, is it good for you or not? It's also, is it available for you or not? I'm never going to go on a weight loss drug. I'm losing weight naturally. I'm in a position where I can do that. And I also, the issues I have with Ozempic, not important to this video, but basically I'm just not a fan of the side effects, and there's really no long-term plan to get you off it once you're on it. Plus-size influencers are getting paid to promote weight loss drugs. Some call it an affront to what was previously a safe space for body acceptance. Body acceptance. Body positivity acceptance. I want to say that more, okay? By Shane O'Neill. No idea who that is. We have a lady in a bathing suit. Okay. When Virgitover, I've heard that name before. I think Alex talks about her a bunch. When Virgitover got an email asking her to promote injectable weight loss medications on her social media, she thought it was spam. As an activist, she has spent the last 13 years espousing body positivity and fat acceptance. Why would she promote drugs like Ozempic on her Instagram account? Why indeed? Unless they're going to be like, hey, you want some drugs? But the offers were coming in from Wegovy and Ozempic, and it seems like they kept coming in. I wonder, why haven't they contacted me yet? I'm just not big enough. Oh. I mean, I wouldn't take it anyways, but it'd be funny. I'd put it on the channel. And then she saw fellow fat activists posting screenshots of similar emails they had received. Oh, it's an epidemic of emails. Making a variety of marketing agencies and med spas with names like Valhalla Vitality. Okay. She's like, and that's when it started to register that this might be something that is widespread. Strategic. And she was right. The emails she received were part of an industry-wide strategy to market injectable weight loss medication via plus-size influencers. I really wonder, like, who was in that meeting? Who was there being like, you know what? Who should we talk to? The people who say, you don't have to lose weight. Let's try to get them to lose weight. It's actually really funny. And I think in a perfect world, it would work. They'd be like, hey, we were all body positivity, and now we're injecting ourselves with a hormonal medication, and we're not as fat as we were. I mean, who else are they going to market it to, right? I mean, you're not going to market it to fitness influencers. They don't need it. To the family moms, you know, the ones who make video content on their children and be like, oh my God, my child's in the hospital today. Oh my God, my child took the first steps. Oh my God, I have a video now of my child. It's going to embarrass them in 20 years. You know, like, you give it to them, I guess. They probably are taking it, but they're not going to tell you that they're taking it, because that would kind of ruin the perfect image that they set up for them. So this seems like the only group I could possibly imagine that'd be worth trying to get to market it. And even Weight Watchers is getting in on it. They're going to promote their new injectables. Because, you know, Weight Watchers, they're kind of going out of style now, right? I mean, who wants to lose weight with cutting calories and buying really terrible food? Because, you know, that's part of Weight Watchers, right? They'll make you buy, like, the little packets of, like, Alfredo and be like, you could eat this and lose weight. And it's, like, that much, and it's basically just pasta. You could bake at home. But here we now get to the plot twist. This push from the weight loss industry is creating ideological rifts in the body positive communities. Jessie Diaz Herrera, who is a plus-size certified fitness instructor, posted an Instagram video saying that if she received another partnership offer from a company selling medical injectables, she would throw her computer. If some of your favorite fat influencers start doing paid campaigns for this stuff, it's because they sold themselves into diet culture. Period. That is funny. It's part of it's like, you can't complain about the problem if the problem doesn't exist anymore, right? That seems like it's part of the issue here. And I get it. It's like they're really, really anti-diet culture. And I'm not for diet culture either. I think diet culture ends up telling people to eat very unhealthy things, telling them to exercise in very unhealthy ways. But there is nothing wrong with wanting to live a healthy lifestyle. They'll be like, healthy lifestyles are diets. And I'm like, it says here, it's an affront for people who have worked so hard to come to a place of body acceptance or body appreciation and debunk diet culture. What do you mean by debunk diet culture? Like, are you debunking, like, the different diets? Because I get on board with that. I mean, like, I think keto's not that good. A bunch of other ones. Atkins, probably, like, the worst, right? I know they call veganism a lifestyle. Not the most for that. I don't really know what we're debunking. You can be anti-diet culture. You could debunk a diet, but how do you debunk diet culture? I don't really know. And they go on to talk about how Weight Watchers is, partnering with, like, injectable weight loss drugs like these, and they're getting influencers to help them out. And what I think is interesting about some people they're partnering with, one of those, the person named Monique, and they're, getting a lot of backlash over, wanting to use these injectable drugs. But like I said, I don't really agree with the concept of these injectable drugs. I don't think they're very good, especially since they're just being prescribed without much, counseling and ability to live a more healthy lifestyle. They're just thinking about losing the weight. They're not actually thinking about what are the changes we're going to take once you get off this drug to make sure you don't regain that weight. But I thought what this person said was very interesting. They said body positivity is about being comfortable in your own skin. She said, I started this because I wanted to feel good. I don't care if I stay a size 18 as long as my back doesn't hurt. So in this case, she's saying, look, it's not even about my size. It's about not wanting to be in pain. And it's like, well, geez, being that size is probably what's causing your back pain. So she put together that way. And she's like, she's absolutely right. Like, you don't have to put up with the pain if you want to be body positive. If you want to be body positive, do a positive thing for your body and lose weight, right? It's unfortunate that she's resorting to this to do so, but I can understand, like, this whole thing about wanting to lose weight. Now, like, that's the real stigma in this community. Because if you want to lose weight, you're still in that diet culture mindset. They still got you. You got to break free. Fat liberation. But of course, I do think the body positivity movement does have a good argument on one point. And it's that it's right here. Influencers are doctors. That's true. Pharmaceutical companies are paying influencers to market this drug. And she's saying there's ethical issues here because you can't be expected to understand the science behind these drugs and what they do, and yet you're having them recommended to people. And I'm like, that is the big issue I have with the pharmacy industry in America as a whole. It's like they're trying to push things on you, but we never talk about how they could affect you. I take a lot of medications for my hormonal issues and my genetic disease, and some of the things that I've experienced from these medications have not been good. Like, one of my medications caused severe vitamin B12 deficiency, which was a massive issue, and I talk about that all the time because it was such a big part of my life. But I can't go off that medication, right? So now they get B12 shots for the rest of my life. And unless I can get a new medication that doesn't cause that issue, but then it might not work as well. You see what I mean? So there are ethical concerns about promoting medication that you don't really know or understand. And there's a lot of people who talk about how these semaglutides, like Ozempic and I think Wegovy, have caused, like, mental health issues. And I'm like, why aren't we talking about that more? I mean, it is basically like a hormone substitute, right? Hormones are directly influenced by and influence your brain. Here we have Virgie Tover. She's saying, I don't want Ozempic. And they're trying to say, like, they don't want this pushed on them. But then they also mentioned in the article the reverse body shaming of if you want to lose weight, like I said, I was saying earlier, that's also a problem. And it's kind of like how, I don't want to get political, but I am going to use some political movements as an example. Say something's been banned in the United States for a long time, and then suddenly you're allowed to do it. Well, all those organizations that dedicated themselves towards making it legal, what happens to them? To just pick up a new cause and keep on going? Or do they try to make an issue about the same cause already? Is the boogeyman now bigger? Right? So if you don't have that cause to fight for anymore, well, you have to still make a problem out of it to keep the money coming in, because otherwise, where'd all those jobs go? And I feel like that's what this is. If everybody's losing weight, what happens to your community? This one person here, she talks about, is a person named Preston, she's like, well, she has acid reflux and she has sleep apnea, makes her want to lose weight. But then again, she gets reverse body shamed for wanting to improve those things. Like, because being super overweight does cause health issues. So, like, I can see both sides of what's going on where they have a point. Again, it's Ozempic, and I'm also not for Ozempic, but also I see this need to lose weight, right? It's not okay to tell them they can't lose weight, but it's unfortunate that they're having to resort to Ozempic in order to do this. Because there's other issues they talk here about, like stomach paralysis. We don't really know how safe it is long term. I mean, we know some people have been on it successfully long term, some people go on it, it doesn't work at all. And just trying to promote it as this cure to obesity, I don't think is helpful. I think we need to work on the American diet first and then try medication later. In the end, these companies try to come to some kind of consensus. They're like, we're not here to denounce body positivity or detract in any way from the strides as we as a community have made in inclusivity. The reality is that two truths can exist. Obesity can impact health, but the discrimination, stigma, and shame experienced by people living with obesity for their weight is also very real. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. It is true. Like, weight does impact your health. As far as the stigma goes, I don't really know. Okay, like, I'm fine. I'm doing fine. I think there's a lot more internalized shame, also known as guilt, than it is really outward shame. Yeah, people sometimes will treat you crappy because you look one way or whatever. I think pretty privilege is more of a thing. I think how good looking you are is a much bigger factor than how big you are. Like, if you're a good looking big person, you're going to do a lot better than a bad-looking big person. Same thing if you're a good-looking thin person, you're going to do a lot better than a bad-looking thin person. And then you have this other person who says that they don't think it's possible to simultaneously reduce weight stigma and promote the eradication of obesity through dieting and weight loss drugs. And, like, they just cannot agree. Everybody is fighting. But the moral of the story they seem to come to in this article is that there's so much focus on discussing these medications. We should be channeling all that energy to create a more respectful society and community for people of all body sizes. And yeah, people can always be nicer. We can always create a more respectful society. But it's never going to change the fact that being super overweight makes you unhealthy by default. Right? We want to promote people to be physically healthy and more respectful. We can do both at the same time. Whether or not we do that with Ozempic or other weight loss drugs, I mean, I'm not here for it. I think you can just eat healthy and, lose the weight. I know it's funny, the Jock Scientist, one of our favorite FA influencers, had something to say about this and how people were using Ozempic and now there's a shortage. So we have a video by her. Let's take a look. I totally get it. I totally get what she's thinking. Like, Ozempic for kids. Like, that's crazy. I'm sorry, if you're 6 years old and you're so overweight that you need Ozempic for obesity, yikes. Maybe at that point, maybe, like, your parents should get a visit from, Child Protective Services. And then we, like, look at the comments of what's going on and like, from that video. And you see people being like, Ozempic gave me pancreatitis. So Xavier had to make an ER trip. We should not be risking this with kids. And I'm like, yeah, I think 6-year-olds should not be on a weight loss medication. Ozempic caused my friend's stomach to paralyze and caused her to have a massive stroke. And the person, I've been trying to get my Ozempic for like 3 weeks. It was just filled yesterday. Kids just need proper diet and exercise, not what the adult diabetics use. And yeah, that's another thing. It's like, it's causing these secondary side effects. And people who actually need it for diabetes, yikes, not actually getting it. And I think the problem's been improved now. This is back in 2023. I don't hear as much shortage talk as I did last year, but I mean, the more people go on it, with the higher demand, the more issues I think are going to arise. And then we have this other video of this woman in Canada showing you kind of just how easy it is to get Ozempic in Canada.
And that's how easy it was for me to get Ozempic. It's likely you've been hearing a lot about Ozempic lately. It's hailed as the miracle drug of the moment for weight loss, even though it was originally intended for type 2 diabetes, and I was able to get it by filling out an online form. Here's how I did it. After answering a few dozen health-related questions online, I was approved for Ozempic. At no point did I speak on the phone or have a video consult with a doctor or nurse practitioner. I'll enter my real height, and I'll enter my real weight. It says my BMI is too low to be a good match for this weight loss program, but it suggests that if I made an error, I can review this information. How about I just enter the weight that they suggest? And now I can continue.
Okay, that is crazy that they suggested the weight to her to get the drug.
Doctors and experts I spoke to expressed concerns that this isn't healthcare at all. It's a business service. One eating disorder expert I spoke to said they were alarmed at how easy it was to get this medication and said people may try to take advantage. I exchanged a couple of messages with a nurse practitioner who asked me to upload a recent photo of myself. I uploaded this photo and was approved minutes later. The online telehealth company provided written instructions on how to use the drug and listed side effects and warnings. I haven't heard from the company since.
What I would like is a complete and open discussion about what are the risks and benefits of this medication instead of kind of painting a pretty picture of like, you could be thin too. I think if we are going to have regulation for medication, it needs to be where you need to have the patient sit there, read all the possible side effects, and then sign a piece of paper saying, yes, I read all of these in front of a doctor and had the opportunity to ask questions. And I still want to take it. And anyways, a lot of people did not respond in the way I think she wanted them to respond. They're like, thanks for the step-by-step tutorial. Thanks for the toot queen. My dad is diabetic, and the fact he struggles to get this is driving me insane. My dad actually needs Ozempic to function in daily life. And they're like, yes! Yeah, people are getting it on the internet. My friend works in healthcare. She had to do an annual physical test, and one of the doctors offered to prescribe her Ozempic if she wanted it. Sounds like she didn't even ask. This person, damn, I wish I was in Canada. I finally got prescribed Ozempic for my PCOS, and I was told there's a shortage now. See, people even wanted for weight loss. Now there's a shortage. This is from February, so this is from this year, only a few months ago. I think there's better things you could do for your PCOS rather than Ozempic. I'm not sure what that's about. I guess maybe they use like a metformin replacement. This is for Canada. And people are like, I can't get it. It only ships to Canada. I live in the U.S. Tell me what you think about this. Like, what is your opinion on Ozempic? And what's your opinion on the shortage? People will not be able to get it for diabetes. Yikes, right? Yeah, let's have a discussion. Let me know. Like, subscribe, and keep watching for more Fat Reacts in the future. Have a great day.